Houston, we have a dolphin.
Cool that you're here. As you can see, I brought the game and it's wrapped because I don't want to spoil your experience by having checked before. But actually, I opened another one of these. We got 3 from the factory, and this is the second one to open. And with one we actually played yesterday to make sure that it works. Also wir haben diese Kiste bekommen mit 2 anderen und das ist die zweite, die ich überhaupt aufmache. Es ist alles noch verpackt und ich mache die jetzt gleich zusammen auf. But before that, let us drink a bit because I'm actually nervous and I hope you brought something to drink too. And actually, with our backers from last year, with some of them we have the arrangement to drink some Schnaps at Spiel Digital or like at Spiel. This year at Spiel Digital it can only work like this. So Prost. Ja, wer hat schon mal mit mir vielleicht an der Messe angestoßen von euch? Ist da irgendjemand dabei? Ja, ich bin ja theoretisch Sachse. Also ich bin ein Hybrid. Also hier trinkt man Feldschlösschen. Genau. Ja, Prost. Ja, kommen wir zur Sache. Also hier ist das Spiel und es hat eine Vorderseite und eine Rückseite. So the backside, it changed a bit from the prototypes, but I'm quite sure that you haven't even really seen it. So there's some nice pictures and then it will tell you about the story that you should know already. And yeah, there's some stuff that we need to put on there as saying what it works with technologically and so forth. Schade, warum leider nicht? Fenster und Tür schreibt leider nicht. Ich war bei dir und habe den Prototyp gespielt, da haben wir auch was getrunken. Aber warum? Ach so, Entertainment hat nicht angestoßen. Tut mir leid. Bei der nächsten Messe ganz bestimmt. I guarantee you, Entertainment, that on the next fair that we'll meet, we will drink something, because I always have something with me. Okay. Und das hier ist, and this is the front side, and it really stayed pretty much the same from our prototype. We changed the title up here. I don't know if anyone has seen it before. Right now I don't even remember what we had on there right now. I could walk and see, but it doesn't matter. So right now the subtitle is The Social Deduction Game for 3 to 5 Intelligent Life Forms, which I hope you all are. And yeah, so much for the box. I think we should open it to see what's inside. Wenn ich das auf Deutsch wiederholen soll, auch nochmal reinschreiben. Also because this stream is mainly for watching, so I think I have enough time to talk about everything in 2 languages. I hope you don't mind. But if everyone is okay with English, then I will stick to it, I think. Okay, so it almost feels as if I bought it, and I'm excited to open it. And yeah, let's check for scratches first. I think this is okay. I think this is a game that you wouldn't need to, claim. Good. So let's stick with English. And yeah, so let us carefully open it. And now maybe I should show more of the game and less of me. Okay, so there's some stuff. We have 1 rulebook. And as you might guess, this is the German rulebook. There's a bit of story here. And there's the components on the other side. Oops. So this is the first page that will tell you about the story, the materials, and it starts with the target of the goal. I always hate it when there's games and they don't talk about the target in the beginning. And then some, overview stuff. Wait, how can I show this? This is mostly like a game overview. And yeah, but on the inside there's the stuff that's interesting. The first double page is about the so-called Außenmission, which is the spacewalk phase. And it has a lot of pictures to explain you how the spacewalk phase exactly works. And that's the phase where you actually, make up some shit, produce trouble, try to repair, try to kill. Almost everything happens in this phase, so it has 2 pages. And then once you went through that, you can have all the captain's phase on the backside, because the captain's phase is very, very important. It will give the captain the opportunity to, reduce the astronauts on the spaceship, tighten the game, sort of. And this is explained on the backside. There's a tiny FAQ to some questions that might come up. And that's pretty much it. That's all the rulebook. It seems quite small, but the game can feel complex, I promise you. Yeah, and there's the same thing in English again, just to make sure that our Dutch, British, American friends also get the same picture. And we also worked with native speakers to make sure that it doesn't sound too weird. I think our Kickstarter wasn't perfect. Like, given the English that we used, it was okay, I guess. But for this, we worked with native writers too. Yeah, so these go, I don't know, let's put them here. We had them. And the funny part is, the funny part about the rulebook is that actually you don't even need it. So we put it in because I know you are board gamers, and board games should have rulebooks so that you can learn them, but we make sure that you don't need it. And we'll come to that in the app. Do you have questions so far? That would also be that like I'm always open to answer the questions in between too, especially if they refer to the material. Then yes please. Okay, so there's our punch board that I will try to open, and I'm scared already, to be honest. I'm scared as fuck because I tend to break punch boards. Like, I'm the guy who I press carefully and then there's this kind of sheet of paper that rips off with it, and I'm a bit sad, but I think you can do it. So my suggestion, but you shouldn't even trust me, but my suggestion is to push with a bit of pressure, to not be too soft. And I'll start with the so-called spacewalk combos. Okay, yes. No harm was done. And this board is a bilingual board that will teach you about the so-called spacewalk phase. You can always refer to it as a cheat sheet to try to establish theories. What might have happened? Was it first an asteroid? Was it maybe observers that looked at something? Could it have been engineers? Could it have been a dolphin? Just to remember all the options, this board is always present on the table. And it has these purple linings there that you will find on the board again. So it fits the board, but we'll come to that. Yeah, and it uses the same symbols that you are going to find on the cards. And yeah, thanks. I'm also happy because I didn't see them for I handed the files in about 2 months ago, and there's always a bit of wonder, will it actually go right? Have I maybe done a huge mistake that I could just the file comes out black and white, or I forgot to put a note that I put on it away before printing it or something? You're always scared. Yeah, it's true. You don't have to be everlastingly super clever to go through the game, but we really, Soviet Kitchen players Soviet Kitchen is very, very approachable. And this game, good question. Was there any harm for dolphins during the production of the game? I won't talk about the research, but concerning production, everything went super morally correct. No, yeah. So we try to be very service strong with the rulebook, and the cheat sheet and so forth, because we know that there's players who played Soviet Kitchen, and Soviet Kitchen is very approachable, it's very light. And some of these people might feel that this game is complex or even a bit brainy, so we try to help wherever we can. Because it is a deduction game, you have to think, of course. Okay, let's get to a more interesting part. By the way, have you seen this? It was like one of my... like we chuckled in the office when we put this on the sides of the board. There's something else on the back side. I won't show you what's... you can see what's here, but I won't show you what's on the other side of the box. But we chuckled a bit at the office when we just put this on the last day to think like, haha, when someone finds this, he'll be happy. So I won't spoil it all the way, but I halfway spoiled it already. Sorry. I love how careful you are with everything to deliver a perfect player experience. Thanks. It's I guess it's not perfect, and I'm sure you will find one or the other, I don't know, maybe a mismatch, maybe a typo. Like, it's not that I know of anything yet, but we are not like a perfect publisher, but we care for being a good publisher, but we are only like, this is the second real game, so I'm sure there's stuff to improve on always. Anyways, it's I'm sure it will be okay. Even, to be honest, I'm sure it will be more than okay, but I'm also sure that there's at least one error somewhere. Okay, let's go to the board. And this board changed a bit. I don't know how carefully you looked at the board during the campaign or during maybe on the Kickstarter videos. Oh, sehr süß, danke. And it changed for a bit because we wanted to have it more center focused. There's a chat in my image. So I have a tiny question. Does my screen go from here to here, from here to here? Or do you only see my screen from here to here? Write 1 if it goes to here, and write 2 if it goes only to here. Because the chat overlays with my camera. Okay, but that's good. Okay, so then you should see pretty much the whole board. I will try to make it fully visible. Yeah, I think it's okay. So we just opened this, so it's still a bit wavy, like there's still this fold. But the funny thing is, you're going to put a device on it, and that will like finally flatten it. So that comes in handy. It's just let's say it's a coincidence. M3 war angeschnitten. Ja, aber jetzt nicht mehr. Can even like rotate it for a bit. So this is the board, and it has this side that has this big blue area in the middle that is supposed to be for a tablet, like this one. It would fit on the blue spot, and you cannot see the blue thing anymore. That will just, by the way, tell you. It tells you to just put the tablet there, which is idiot proof, I guess. And you could put it here, but you could also not take a tablet, because I know you might not have a tablet. I actually didn't have a tablet before I started the business, so we have a backside, and that is focused on Android, on mobile players, and not Android, iOS and Android too. So you could put your phone here, and the board will work in a very similar manner, so to speak. And there's these gameplay-wise, I guess you're also a bit interested in gameplay. So gameplay-wise, there will be an overlay on the screen that I will show you in a second, and it fits to what's around here. So there's the slot of card A, slot B, slot C, and the phone can refer to it, to which card is meant. Like, for example, which card dies, it will show it with a red light, showing towards the right direction. So this is why we went for this circular approach with the phone in the middle. And what else is on the board? Like on this side, we have this huge spacecraft in the middle. This is Palermo 13. So right now, the question was if there's a lot of glare, a mirror effect on the devices. So actually there's a bit of it, but here I'm just in a studio situation, so the lights are like super, super, super strong. And even if I put my phone on maximum brightness, there will be still a bit of reflection. But these lights are like, at least, I don't know how to calculate in lux, but I guess they're like 5 times as strong as my normal light. So when you put your phone in a strong setting, then the reflection doesn't matter anymore. So there's Palermo 13, the spaceship. On the back side, we went for a bit of a different design where the spacecraft is not visible anymore if you put the tablet on it, so that they look a bit different. But it's the same thing, that there's these 3 slots around it, and these cards can refer to each other in a circle via the red or the blue arrows, which stand for a right action or a left action. But we have more stuff on the board. There's the modules, and modules means that in the game there's 3 cards, and they firstly mean that you have to kind of detach them to reset the spaceship. If you don't reset the module, like if you don't detach the modules and the astronauts within, then the humankind cannot win the game. But secondly, you can also take these cards, you can win them, so to speak. And if you do, you might get a strong card, or you might even get a dolphin and be like dolphinized, and then change the faction. Yeah, so this happens here, and we will put cards on it later, but I will stick with this piece for now. And on the other side, there's the so-called void. And the void is just the area where astronauts get lost. Every astronaut that gets lost along the way will land here at the void. So basically it's a discard pile. And that's all we need for the void. Yeah. Cool. So let's get to... Let's get to the last components. I have a tiny question. Shall we start with the panic tokens, or should we go for the cards? Anyone who will reply will have to make the choice, because this is a turbo research. Doesn't matter. Okay, so I will go for these ones first, because the most exciting part goes last. Okay, so I forgot how many we put in there, but let's count them together. I think it's 16 or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it's likely that we wrote 15 in the rule books. That's something that you do, because it might be that someone miscalculated in the factory, and 15 is totally sufficient, so you just add 1, so that everything's fine, like even if they miscounted. But I actually remember only one single game where we ever had 15 tokens in use, and never 16. So I guess you will be fine with all of these. And they're wooden, and they depict little lightning bolts, and they're called panic tokens. And the more you have of them, the more Rita panics, the more she can do against the captain. The easier it is to revolt against the captain. So that's their function. Yeah, not. They are yellow. Yeah, no, I'm starting to look for something to say about them. It's not super special, is it? El Tamago fragt, wird heute nur ausgepackt oder auch angespielt? So are we going to play too? I will show you the app, and I can even show you like pieces of gameplay, but I'm all by myself. So if you enjoy these type of streams, I think we will make another stream for the expansion, and we can also make another stream for gameplay, for like an hour of gameplay, only gameplay. But yeah, I can, if you're still online in half an hour and we're done with the unboxing that I promised, and people are still interested, I can also explain the game to you as if we were on a fair. So yeah, let me know what you think about it. Yeah, so I think we should come to these now. This is Rita, and she's one of the astronauts, but obviously she's not the only astronaut because she's not so thick. There's 24 of them in here, and from the backside they all look like this. Okay, now they're almost open. Okay, so what do we have here? I will make some space. Up. Okay, so these are the cards. And I don't know if you can see, there's not so much to see about the quality on this camera, but they're just, I think the edges are totally fine. I don't know if the video is buffering for anyone else. I'm sorry. It might be that my connection is not stable. Yeah. I wish I had time and knowledge to you know, get rid of the spam there that is in the chat, but this is my first time on Twitch, so I think we will have to live with PK 1 for something. Anyways, the cards are not like this the thickest in the world, but they're like very ordinary cards. I forgot about the gram because Milena finally made the order, my colleague, but it's just super ordinary playing cards from thickness, and we made sure that they don't reflect too much. Like now it looks like they're reflecting a lot, but there was one option for them to reflect a lot and one for them to reflect less, and we picked that one because they have to be scanned. But yeah, the scanning you will have to we will do that together, and so you can see that it works. Okay, so let's go through the designs. I will try to have a steeper look somehow. So this is, for example, one of the heroes. She's called Trainer Judy, and she's working on the aquarium of the spaceship, obviously. And then there's Rita, that you might have spotted on the cover of the game already. And I think what she does is that she uses bait somehow to deal with the dolphin. There's one of the dolphins, and he's called Dolphin Finlay, and he's a dolphin in disguise, and that's why he's called Dolphin. I think you got it. And now I can see a question. Are they made from paper or plastic? I will have to research again, like I can tell you tomorrow. But most probably these are paper cards with a bit of plastic foil on it. That's like the ordinary technique to produce cards. It's not full plastic. Yep. This is Heinz, and he seemed to have spotted a mustache on the floor because he's the janitor of the spaceship. This guy's called Rico, and he's just eating pizza, I assume. Or maybe he's smelling it to see if there's dolphin smells on it, or anchovy. Yeah, who do we have on top? Julia, she's just the coolest girl on the ship. Houston, the protagonist, so to speak, but actually he's quite an ordinary card, and I don't know if you have. We didn't have anyone who has more strength yet, but there's also cards that have a double arrow. They are more versatile or somehow stronger. But Houston is not even that type of guy. He's just an ordinary guy on a spaceship. You like Rico. He's I think he was the latest card that I added to the mix. He was the latest sketch that I finished. And yeah, he's just a bit scared and trying to hit somewhere, I think. And here we have someone very special. This is Captain Igloo. He will be a very lively character, so to speak, because he will have a voice in the audio tutorial. You might have listened to his voice already, and if you check the latest Kickstarter update. And as most of you are probably German, you might have a clue about his name or what it even means. Captain Igloo. There's like this company in Germany, and they do fish fingers, and this company is called Captain Igloo, but they mean, I don't know what the English word for an igloo is, but it's basically the ice house of the Inuit when they build these circular houses. That's an igloo. So this is why he has this name. Yeah. Anyways, maybe it makes you chuckle, maybe it makes you cringe, but that's how we are. Yeah. The $30 million question is, who did I have in mind when I drew Torsten? Like this. I will go on, but maybe someone has an idea who Torsten refers to. I'm thinking of someone, and yeah, let's see. So this is another of the heroes. Heroes, like, they can sacrifice themselves in order to open new modules and detach them. So they are very strong, and they need a strong mental capability in order to sacrifice themselves for the greater good. Maybe The Rock. Yeah, it's interesting, but I didn't think of The Rock, but it's a good idea. And also, this guy is pretty skilled or cool because he has like WD-40 and duct tape, WD-40, this oil spray and duct tape. So I think he's just as tough as The Rock, and he's very cool. But visually, I was thinking of someone else. But if you don't find out, then you will have to do that by yourself later, or wait for someone on the internet within the next years to point it out. I cannot tell you, because then it's because of copyright issues, most certainly. Sergeant Dao, yeah, he's also a badass and a hero. I told you about his strength. But yeah, heroes are not always male. This is Dr. Sam. She's the doctor on the ship. And she's in the situation, in such a horrible situation as a sabotaged spaceship. She cannot really repair and stuff, so she's ready to sacrifice herself for the greater good. And this is maybe my favorite hero. He's called Jimmy, and he's not exactly human, although when we talk about the human race in this game, Jimmy is definitely a part of it because he's so close to it. He's a relative, so to speak. Yeah, this is Jimmy. It's hero number 5, so to speak. Here we have just another dolphin, the second one. There's only 2. Dolfo di Mare of Italian heritage. And he's got this strange belt of fish. And God knows what he can do with these fish, but he looks dangerous, definitely. Is Sam Emmett Brown Sam? Like Dr. Sam? I don't know why you call her Sam Emmett, but Sam is not. Oh, Doc Brown. I don't know. Maybe you can send me a link so that I get informed about what's about shows or stuff that I missed out on. But I didn't have. She reminds me a bit of the professor of Back to the Future, but nothing else really, to be honest. So I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so then we actually agree, right? Yeah, this is Mike. He's not exactly the prettiest guy on the ship, but he's very useful because he's the cook, and he's willing to sacrifice himself. He can sacrifice a ton of humanity, really. Um, then there's this guy, number 5. He doesn't like to show his face, and he's very good with how do you say, welding, with steaming metal, opening metal with his metal pistol, and maybe he looks a bit like Boba Fett. I don't know. That was just my interpretation of him. I made him, but I also have to interpret him. Then we have this karate skilled woman called Lu, and she does something really weird with her fingers. And maybe when you get the cards in your hands, you can try to find out what she actually does there. Then we have Smash. I actually drew her with my girlfriend in mind, but my girlfriend neglects that. She says there's no similarity, so now Smash is just my second girlfriend, and she's actually my other girlfriend, not Smash. The other one, she has less muscle, so but I enjoy that. She can lift me, and so I feel very secure. Yeah. Yeah, let's go a bit quicker. This is Max, and only the crowbar. Yeah, actually, I have a crowbar fetish. This is Sam, and Sam is also another crowbar guy. But crowbars are super important on Palermo 13 because it's a mechanical build. It's not very complex. It has a lot of screws and stuff. And if you want to open some modules, the most important thing that you need is a crowbar or like huge wrenches. Yeah. One Punch Man, maybe. Yeah. Okay, so I will check for the last cards because I want to keep some some secrets for you. Like this card I cannot show you because it's in the part of the game that you can unlock. This card is unlockable. These are early unlockable. Yeah, I think I can show you the rest, but two cards I will leave out, so you have still a bit of surprise left. One Punch Man for the bald guy. Oh, I know him, but no. Okay, but there's so many interpretations. That's fine. Actually, I was thinking of a German guy. That's why he's called Thorsten. So everyone who's just guessing and is international, sorry, it will be hard for you to find out. But it's a German guy, and it makes sense thematically. Okay, so these cards I still want to show you. There's this is Susan. She's the oldest of all the astronauts. She's like super experienced. And you shouldn't mess with her. And she's also a lady, just that you know. And this is Mr. Microwave. Mr. Microwave, they are not sure on the ship, like whether he's an actual human being or not, but he looks cool. And when you hit him too hard, if he dies for any instance, he will explode and kill everyone on the mission. Legst? Someone asks, Legst? Legat? Oh, Legat. Sorry, the phone is in an angle that I can almost not read. No, it's not Legat. Yeah. And these two guys are our so-called observers or scientists, and they can find out stuff. Dr. Miles is a psychology major, so she has that Rorschach test there. I don't know what's the English word for Rorschach, but I wonder what you see in that picture that she shows you. But she's testing you and your humanity when you face her on the ship. And Dr. Bauer is just a chilled biologist, and he's also smoking weed, I guess. But he doesn't share with me. That's why I don't like him. yeah, enough of the cards. I just figured something. I figured that I forgot to punch the rest of the board. It's funny because you were talking about One Punch Man. Maybe that reminded me of it. So let's go back to the punch board. So there's this eagle. This is the base game eagle. But everyone gets it, of course. And wait, here. And this eagle is for the captain to take, so that everyone remembers who has the captain role on his team. The backside is, by the way, identical. And there's 2 team tokens. This is Team White Wormhole. Oh. Okay. And this is Team Hoisted Nebula. And I will gather some more before we go through them. There's the rest. And there's also the one that you voted for, which was Team Beyond Bifrost. And also the other one that you voted for, which is Pink Pluto. And 3 more. And yeah. So I finally did what I was scared of doing. But I was lucky that the other part, the part that I can throw away, got damaged. Okay. Still. So, okay. So these are all the team badges. I hope you like them. So at the beginning of the game you pick your color, but theme-wise that's not only your color, that's also the destination that you claim to go. So Team Horsed Nebula, as an example, suggests to fly to the Horsed Nebula, and the Team Black Hole actually wants to fly into a black hole. Team Pink Pluto wants to fly to Pluto. Team Violet Venus wants to fly to Venus, and Team Mint Moon would rather fly to the moon. And these, because Earth was destroyed, so they have to find a new home. But because in the hassle of Earth's destruction and the construction of the spaceship, they didn't really have time to settle with one destination, so they're still disputing. This is the reason for the teams on the ship. Yeah, but that's pretty much everything for the punch board. And these are really thick. Like, I really like how these came out. They are indestructible, and I actually would like to put them as tiles on my, I don't know, kitchen floor. Oops. Okay. So what do we have missing? What's still missing? The cards, the punchboard pieces. Oh, I think we should really head for the app, right? Do you want to see a bit of the app? And now I will have to check whether my other device charged enough, because my main phone is just here in front of me and you're watching me, but the game is on another device. It's my old phone. Yeah, and I hope the light doesn't mess with me too much. So I would use the board again. Put it on the table and put the phone there. Oops. And pull the brightness all up because the surrounding is so bright. And I don't want to create a Hyper account right now. So let's look down. Don't forget to drink. Thanks. Yeah, it's true. You cannot see my eyes and you cannot see anything really. Okay, so thanks for reminding me to drink really. I needed that one. Okay, so let's try to set up a bit of the board so that you can actually see it. think this is not very, it's not bad. And let's see if this works. I have yeah, let's see if we get to that. Because I don't like the cable in here on slot B, but we found a solution for that too. So I would take all the cards now and just collect them. And I need all of them. I need all of the cards. And when you start a game, for example, a quick start game, it will show you which types of cards are in the game. And because I just started a new app, I loaded the app for the first time. There's not many cards that are unlocked here, but there's actually a cheat. And if I remember right, the cheat is to go to the achievement section, and then you have to scan the captain, and the captain is here. And now you cannot see how I hold the card above it, but I actually hold the card just above the phone. And then I have to scan the white badge, and then I have to scan the black badge, and then it unlocks everything, if you like that type of stuff. So you can play the game multiple times to unlock some cards, but you can also unlock everything. And now all cards are unlocked, and also the alternative game mode is unlocked, the alternative soundtrack is unlocked. Right now there's a soundtrack on too. And yeah, so if I go into custom game, for example, and go for the ordinary game mode, I could also select stuff like these ones I will deselect, Mr. Microwave I will deselect, Doggo I will deselect. Do I want to play with 4 or 3 cards? 4 is the standard mode, I will play with 4 cards. This is how you would set up a game. And now he turns the game actually, because he doesn't want the cable to be on this card slot. You know, here's card slot B, and it's annoying to have that cable there. So now I can actually turn around. I can turn it around so the cable goes, leaves the cable, like it leaves the board on the logical end on the top. Stefan Raab is the closest thing we had so far. And the game, I don't know if I remember that I told you that the game has not only the rulebook to learn the game, but you can also learn the game step by step with these teal area right here. For example, here it will tell you that that each player has to scan a team card, a team token, and when you are not sure what that means, sometimes you even get some kind of animation that will show you what's to do. So this animation there pretty much gets to the point. For example, I like to be team Pink Pluto, so I will hold it here over the camera somewhere over here. I can hold it the badge here, but not, that would be too low. I would have to hold it like here. Wait. Up. No, wait, sorry. I was confused because I turned the phone around. The camera is here, you know? So I hold the pink badge over here. So now it's inside, and I can take this badge to myself. And you could do that too. For example, if for example Tox, who just cheers at me, would himself rather play with Team Violet Venus, he would take that team badge and hold it over the camera, and it just falls into it, and he takes it. And then there's maybe a third player, and this third player is I don't know. You select. Just say something. Which team do you want to be? Maybe entertainment. Oops, now I scanned one of them by holding it, but I think it's okay. So I just scanned this one, and it will also go to another player, and we can go on. And now it will explain you here too, but I can put this away because we don't need these super many explanations because I know the game very well. Yeah, you picked the one that I picked. That's great. So now we take all the cards, and they have to be recruited. That's what they say. And recruiting means that the cards will go through the system and will be added to a specific player because the game is balanced. More than just sharing cards randomly, we have a system to make the game even and fair, and also to select the cards that you wanted in your setup and to deselect the cards that you didn't want in your setup. We all do that in a balanced way. So the dealing of cards is a little different than how you might know it. So I can hold the astronauts here and they will tell me where to go. For example, this one goes to Violet Venus, this one goes to the void down there. This card goes to the void as well. This card goes to Team Bifrost. This one goes to Module 2, if I see correctly. Yes. This card goes to the void. This card goes to me. This card goes to the void. This card goes to Team Bifrost. This card goes to Team Pink Pluto. This goes to Violet Venus. Now we're halfway through. Here, here, here. Module 3. This is one of the, now this is one of the astronauts who can be saved, but he can also dolphinize you if you're unlucky and he's a dolphin. This one too. What I really like, my colleague Jonas implemented this, is that when, for example, Team Beyond Bifrost is unsure whether this card was really part of his team, he can actually just scan the card again, just in between, and the phone will just tell him again, like, yeah, this is actually your card. So you cannot really mess this one up. And also you will see if every player has the same number of cards, and if that's the case, it's very unlikely that you made a mistake. Yeah, now there's 2 cards left. This one goes to the void, and this one goes to Violet Venus. And now the setup is done. And yeah, so I think I will show you my cards now. Because this is a social deduction game. Actually, we don't have access to see every card. We just have access to see the card of one single player. Now, everyone gets a panic token, but Team Violet Venus, this is what it says here. Because Violet Venus has the captain. So right now, Violet Venus would have the job. Maybe they would be here, Here would be Violet Venus. And he would, from all his cards, publish the captain and say, I am the captain. And also take the captain's badge. And the other cards of him remain unknown. So he might even be... There's not so much space on the table. So these 3 cards that Team Violet Venus still has, there might also be a dolphin underneath it, and then Team Violet Venus would be a dolphinized team. But maybe it's just a good team that has the captain in it, and that's all fine. And I will show you my cards. So my cards that I got from the dealing were those 4. It's Julia. She is a left-hitting engineer. It's this guy that we are still wondering who he's resembling. He's also a left-hitting engineer. And there's Jimmy, and Jimmy is a hero. And yeah, so very soon I will tell my colleagues that I do have a hero, because we really, really need him to detach 3 modules, because that's what we need to do in order to win the game before the Dolphins let everything fall apart. And then I also have Dr. Miles, because we set up a game where there's observers in it. And with Dr. Miles, I could see, I could look who's in another team. So let's just assume that the captain here, he always will start to try and set up an idea of what to do in the spacewalk phase. So he might say, hello, I'm the captain. Of course, we need to detach a module. You have to detach 3 modules to win the game. So let's detach a module. And I'm calling out Team Pink Pluto. That's what he says. Please put a hero on slot A. Because we need the hero to detach the module. So I would be like, I actually think the captain, there's no reason to doubt what the captain wants to do. So I think I will go for his advice and actually do play the hero. So I will play my hero, who's Jimmy. And wait, so now there's first the intro that shows you how the spaceship was destroyed. I forgot about that for a second. Yeah, it's explaining you what I just explained to you, that we have to detach 3 modules, and that there's 1 devious dolphin on board of the spaceship. So now is that very situation where you set the cards. And as I said already, because I was a bit urgent, because I was in a hurry, the captain, he just asked me, Team Pink Pluto, could you please play a hero? And I would say, yeah, I will play a hero. And that's what I actually do. This is my hero. I will hold him over the camera, and he will go on slot A. So now I need a character that helps me. And helping, in this game, helping a hero works like here. Number 3 says, if you want to use your hero, if you want to activate a hero, you need 2 people with wrenches, and 1 is hitting from the left and 1 is hitting through the right. And if the hero is in the middle, then the hero is activated and can finally reset a module. So that's what I'm up for. So what I need is that my neighbor on slot B here, he needs to hit me, so to speak, so that I can detach a module. And then later on, I will also need someone on slot C who will also hit me in the circle, and then we detach a module. That's our common task. And if there's a dolphin, then that might not work out. So I ask, okay, can someone hit blue? Can someone hit to the left to hit me? And there might be Team Beyond Bifrost, who's not, you cannot see him right now, but he's just somewhere here in my hands. And Team Beyond Bifrost will reply, yeah, I can actually help you. I can hit you with the left engineer. And I say, okay, let's try this. So he will come, play his card, and put it on slot B. And there's only 1 slot missing, and that's that one, slot C. So now Team Beyond Bifrost can again ask all of us if we have a right-hitting engineer, because now we need this red arrow to show at me, because you remember I played the hero, we need to activate the hero with 2 engineers. So Team Beyond Bifrost, who played last, talks a bit and then decides that Team Violet Venus will play the last card. That's actually the captain's team. And the captain is himself, as a matter of fact, a red hitting card. If he would be here, then he would hit towards the red direction and he would hit me. So he says, yeah, I don't like to do this because I could lose my captain potentially, but I'm willing to try. And so the captain is scanned, and the captain flies to slot C, and he's the only public card. And now we have to see what happens. And what happened is that nothing happened. So the result of this very spacewalk was none. And let's try to find out what happened together. So you remember we have this cheat sheet that can explain to you how things work on a spacewalk. And what we also know is that here's a captain, and that I played this card, and I told you what it is. It was a hero. So this is I wouldn't open this card in a usual game because the other people shouldn't know. But this is our imaginary space now. Let's imagine you could see this card because it gives you an overview. This card is still unknown, totally unknown, because the other player claimed he would hit you, but maybe he did not. So the first option is that there was an asteroid. But an asteroid always makes such an X, the red X. It refers to the void. It means someone dies. And this, as no one died, this didn't happen. Okay. Secondly, maybe there was let's take the other side. Maybe there was an observer, and the observer would have seen someone, but there was no result of anyone seeing anyone. Like the app would have told us, was seen, so that didn't happen. So it was neither an observer, nor was it an asteroid. The third option is, did we use a chain reaction where someone was stuck in between two engineers? Two things can happen in that case. A hero would be activated if he was like hit by two engineers, but everyone else would just die. But both things didn't happen, so this didn't happen, but it could have been that someone was pointing towards the wrong direction, you know? If both engineers, for example, pointed to the right-hand side, which is red, then there wouldn't be this combo. So this would be a reason for nothing to happen. And if there was a dolphin, then there would also be a victim, but there is no victim. So I guess the only option that we have is to assume that this player, Team Bifrost, didn't play what he claimed to play. But we don't know exactly what. Possibly he played an engineer that was hitting in the wrong direction, so nothing happened. But maybe he also played Doggo. Doggo is a card that doesn't do anything, basically. Yeah, so, okay. This was a bit of a boring first round, that nothing happened, but it can happen. And now we would say continue. Every player takes his card back. The captain also goes back to his team, Violet Venus. Even the player that we think is a bit funny from Team Beyond Bifrost, he also goes back to his team. And everyone who didn't play gets a panic token, but there's only 3 teams, and all 3 teams were in fact on the spacewalk, so no one gets panic. And now we would go to the captain phase. And the captain phase is the phase where the captain, which is Team Violet Venus, it's not me unfortunately, decides to either eject an astronaut, or to flood the spaceship, which would be like the Dolphins winning finally, and the last option would be the reset of the spaceship. And we cannot reset the spaceship yet. This is gray, you know. We need to detach 3 modules first. So he could either flood the spaceship or he could eject an astronaut. And as usual, he would say, I eject an astronaut and I will take Team Beyond Bifrost, because that one was the player who was playing fishy, you know? He didn't help us really. And it's almost certain. Actually, Violet Venus didn't see what we played, but for some reason he trusts us that we played the hero maybe. Maybe he doesn't. So he says, I think Team Violet Venus should eject 1 astronaut. And now there would be some kind of voting. It's really hard to simulate as a sole player, but basically all players would take their panic. You know, for example, Team Beyond Bifrost has some panic, and I have some panic, And now we would gather the panic in our fists and decide how much panic we want to play. And I think the captain is fine. The captain's decision is totally fine, so I won't revolt. So what I would do is put my fist here, and there's nothing in it. And also, Team Beyond Bifrost, he doesn't want to die, but he knows that it's not the right moment yet to just revolt, because he's all by himself. He has no power. One panic stone wouldn't be sufficient to do a revolt, so he plays nothing. So what we do is that we hold our hands there, and we'll open it at the same time, and they're both empty. And this is why the captain's choice is actually accepted. And so you click accept. There was less than 2 panic. And Team Beyond Bifrost would now have to select one of their cards and think of which is the card that is futile, a card that he doesn't need. So he takes that one and holds it above the camera. So this guy, he just falls into the vacuum and is sucked out of the spaceship. And that's the end of the captain phase. So we lost an astronaut and we didn't get any progress on the game generally, so it wasn't a good first round. So far so good. I'm a bit I didn't plan this very well, so I guess you might be a little confused. I just wanted to show you that everything works and that the scanning is no problem, so I hope you enjoyed this little first overview. Yeah, so I guess we could go to the. By the way, the game would go on now like this. Basically, you play the spacewalk phase where really weird stuff can happen. Everyone's dying. One person is dying. 2 people are dying. Very strange things happen, and you are usually very confused with what it all means and who could be the bad guy. But I cannot simulate this very well by myself, so I will make another live stream with co-players, and then we will show you how the game feels. And okay, and yeah, that's it. I will turn the volume down a bit. Do you have questions still? Is there anything you would like to know or would like to see from the app maybe or from the material? Then will there be other languages? So the written part of the app will be French, Spanish, English, and German. And there's an audio tutorial. And the audio tutorial is just English and German. So this is what we offer language-wise. Spanish, French, German, English. Yeah, I think so. No, Polish as well. Yes, and you could help. Maybe you could. Do you have me on Facebook, Jak? You could try to find me on Facebook, Andreas Wilde, like AN. I will write it in the chat. Yeah, I just gave you my contacts. So if you want to help with the French translation, that would be super great, and we can talk about it. And thanks. I also meant to say that it will publish in Polish too, but still the audio will remain. The audio will remain German and English, and also these few words on this card, they are English or German. There's no other language. But language-wise, that's all. Pretty much there's not many more words that are printed actually. So that's that. Oh yes, and Fenster und Tür is still wondering who Thorsten is. No, I told you so many secrets today. Too many secrets. So Thorsten, the interpretation of Thorsten, it still remains up to you. And but I guess someone will find out. Sorry. Thanks for being with me, and enjoy the rest of your evening.